Hello, everyone. This is Hoot with an update on our travels. So this is Saturday morning, and it's 10:47 here in Portugal. We're in Lisbon. We left Chicago on Wednesday. We're 6 hours ahead, so Chicago should be 4:48 right now. So we left Wednesday. We flew on TAP Airlines. It was a pretty good experience. We actually had just regular airline tickets, and Christine, my wife, upgraded us to business class, which turned out to be a good deal. Cost about 1,300 and some change more, but we were able to relax. We had the front row. They have no first class seats, either business class or regular class in the back. So the seats actually reclined. You can actually recline all the way flat and sleep. Served us a great meal. And surprisingly, it was only about a 7 hour flight, probably less than 7 hours. We left around, it was about 11 p.m. Chicago time. We got here in Lisbon around noon on Thursday. This is our third day here. We're at an Airbnb. The total cost for the plane, it was 2,100 and some change for the seats that I bought back in June, and it's round trip. I bought it round trip, but I got the adjustable and the changeable, refundable seats, so we can push it back because we're here actually at no set return date. We'll be traveling all of Europe. And just a reminder, if you come out here and you plan on doing what we're doing, you can only spend 90 days in a 180-day period in the Schengen region. Schengen region is the European Union. There are about 27 countries in the Schengen region. They have open borders. So you have to bounce out of the Schengen region if you stay more than 90 days in a 180-day period, and then bounce back in. So we plan on going to Gibraltar and Morocco, the UK, and I heard Croatia joined the Schengen region as of January 1st. So a couple of things. When we hit the airport here in Lisbon, I had to hit the ATM because I had U.S. currency, and no one takes U.S. currency here. In Portugal, you need the euro, dollars. And we found that the Schwab card, we opened up a Schwab account, checking account. Schwab refunds you all the fees, and they have no international fees. So when the ATM charges you $3 or $4, they'll refund that, and there are no exchange fees, foreign exchange fees with the Schwab card. And no, Schwab did not pay me for this endorsement. We just found it on the internet, just searching. So when we got off the plane, and it was good with the business class because we were the first ones off, and our luggage was the first one off the conveyor belt. And the ATM, there were no lines. There happened to be a line when everybody else got off the plane. So I found when I hit the ATM, it first tells me there's a $3.95 charge for using it, which was fine. I know Schwab would have returned that money to me, but then there was another charge on there. It said there's a foreign exchange fee equaling something like, it came out to like, I withdrew 300 and it was going to be like $380. So, and I'm glad I read about this before I came out. These ATMs, it's like a scam. I don't know how to get away with it, but it's a foreign exchange fee. You think you have to pay it, but I declined it and it didn't charge me it. So you just say no, you don't want to pay it, and then it just goes back to saying the $3.95 charge. So I only withdrew like $303.95 euro. And with the exchange rate is about pretty even with the dollar and euro. It came out to like $313 or something like that in U.S. currency that it was deducted. So just make sure you hit no if it's asking you if you want to if you agree to that foreign exchange rate, because it's a scam. From there, our host from the Airbnb that we rented picked us up, brought us out here. It's a nice area of town. I think the biggest thing with this Airbnb, the best thing, is the balcony. We can sit out there and have a glass of wine and have a couple of beers, smoke a cigar. The place is kind of small. It's on the fourth floor. They have this little like midget-size elevator that we got stuck in trying to take it, so we got to haul everything up ourselves. I guess so you can put your baggage in there, and I heard that about Europe. They're not very friendly with. I guess it would be if you're physically challenged, you got to walk up all the stairs up here. So we put our baggage in there and came up, but we tried getting in there and it got stuck, and we had to finally get out and walk the rest of the way. But the place we have here, I'll show you a tour in a second, but it's about $90 a night. That's US dollars. We charged it from our home. And also, check your credit cards if you're coming out. Make sure your credit card that you're using has no foreign transaction fees. So we've got a couple of those. We haven't used them yet in 3 days. Just, if you stay in a non-touristy spot, which we are a little bit outside of it, and it's just stuff is so cheap. And I understand the mom and pop cafes, they prefer you pay cash. So the first day we had to kill some time. Our Airbnb wasn't ready. So we had a little meal and a couple of drinks, and it was so cheap. We had a pork sandwich. I had 2 beers. My wife had a glass of wine, a small latte or cappuccino, whatever it was. And then I got 4 small eclairs to go. And it was under 10 euros. I mean, something like that in Chicago would have been like 40 or 50 bucks. Then we had a nice meal yesterday. Most people here speak at least a little bit of English. Some don't. A couple of menus we got, we couldn't figure it out. What we had to have the restaurant explain it to us. We do have like Google Translate, and we got to figure out how to like take a picture of something instead of checking individual stuff and figure out what the meals are. But I got some kind of a fish meal. It was pretty good, and my wife had some kind of beef and egg and potatoes with French fries actually. So that was like $8 or $10 each. So the prices are pretty reasonable. The cafe lattes and cappuccinos are really good and very inexpensive. And they tell me that either they don't expect a tip here unless you go to like a high level or mid-level place, or I've been leaving like 5-10% tip, but they say they don't really expect a tip here. So 5-10% is pretty generous, I think, is what I've been reading and people have been telling me. We did go to the mall yesterday. We actually ordered a Uber, and the first Uber we ordered, it was set 2 minutes, and that one got canceled. Then the next one said 6 minutes, and we waited, and then we looked on the map, and the guy that was supposed to come was like stationary. He wasn't moving. We waited like 10 or 15 minutes, and we're like, what the heck? And we just canceled it and took a cab. That Uber was like 9 something euros, and we actually got a refund on that, so I don't know what happened with that guy. But actually, when we were walking down to catch a cab, we saw this guy our Uber guy was sitting in his car just lounging, so I don't know what happened. We didn't ask him anything, we just said forget it, and walked onto the cab and took the cab over to this mall. What's the name of that mall? Colombo or something like that? Colombo Mall. It's supposed to be like the second largest mall in all of Europe. The place was huge, and it was just mobs of people in there, just elbow to elbow people. I mean, it was ridiculous. I can't believe there's so many people in this mall. There were like 3 or 4 floors, and it just ran forever. So I was trying to find a pair of gym shoes, and I guess I'm a giant here in Portugal. They didn't have any shoes my size. Everything was small, and they had 4 or 5 shoe stores we went into. That mall, I thought the prices, they were like comparable to Chicago. So it was probably a touristy place where they kind of gouge you. But if you get outside to some of the neighborhoods, everything's really cheap here. I know the cab ride there was about 15 euros. It would have been 9 something had that Uber guy shown up. And then I heard some horror stories here from our host at the Airbnb that the Ubers are not very reliable, which we found out kind of firsthand. So our cab driver, I asked her how much homes were here, and she said very expensive, $1 million, €1,000,000 to get a nice home. So that's probably a worldwide thing now. Today we were supposed to go meet some of my one of my aunt's friends. She's an expat here, and there's an expat community that we were gonna like pick their brain to see, just in case we want to live out here. I don't know. But like I mentioned, that Schengen region, there's other ways to stay longer. You'd have to get a visa to work or stay or whatever. And I was just reading. This is just from reading on the internet that wherever you want to go, if you want to stay longer, you just have to prove that you're self-sufficient. Have your income letter, like I'm on a pension. I brought my income letter from the pension board, or your savings, just to show you're not going to be a drain on the society here. That's all. So I'm going to take a quick tour of this Airbnb that we got. We kind of got this because of the location, and I wanted a balcony so I could sit out and smoke a cigar and have a beer. So let me switch this here. There we go. This is like the living area. It's a TV. We did find like it was mostly Portuguese station, but we did find one station that was English. We're showing old shows like Highway to Heaven yesterday. That was in English with Portuguese subtitles, so that was cool. And Love Boat. We were watching that last night. There's Christine.
Hello.
Sofa, a couple of chairs. There's the balcony I was telling you about, the view. So when you get an Airbnb in Europe, I found out that, if you look back there, you see the clothes hanging on the clothes hanger. It's kind of rainy out there today. And you need to check the boxes of what you're looking for. You need to hit most places have a clothes washer, but you need to specifically check and see if they have a dryer, because like I said, in Europe they tend to hang their clothes up on strings, so you have to specifically ask for a clothes dryer, which we did. My suitcases, I'm living out of suitcases still. There's a kitchen. That's the other thing you gotta ask. Make sure to click the box when you're here long periods of time. Even though food is cheap here, we plan on cooking a couple of meals. And behind all these cabinets is the dishwasher and the refrigerator, freezer, clothes washer, and dryer. And this is the hallway. We got 2 bathrooms here. This is the first one. Second one, for some reason, we were told that this toilet, you can't throw anything in there. No toilet paper or anything. It looks like a bidet. And this is the shower. The hallway, kind of a mess here. Already, 3rd day. We got a king size. We asked for a king size bed. We got the air conditioner unit mounted up there. I guess the heater too if you need it. But here we are. It's first week of January, and the average temperature is like highs of about 60-ish, And lows, you know, it's supposed to be in the upper 30s and 40s, but we found it's be in the like 50s for a low. So that's it. Day 3 of our adventures. And today we were supposed to go meet some people, like I said, but it's rainy. We had to change it to later on next week. And we're still adjusting to the time change, because that first day we slept for like hours. And then we're just having difficulties falling asleep at night, but hopefully we'll get adjusted to all of this. We're here for 10 days, then we go to Porto after this. We're gonna probably take a train ride to Porto, and then from Porto we go down south to Lagos, and that's a Ryan airline that we're taking. And then from there we'll probably check out, bounce out of the Schengen region, maybe Morocco. Okay, that's all I got today. We'll update next day or two. Thank you.